Shalom, Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I want to get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that's pushed this great gospel in sincerity and truth. This your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the great millstone, Indianapolis camp, coming at you another lesson through the spirit of power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Your Lord will it be edifying. Got an article here from CNET.com. Well, actually, got a couple of them. We're going to start here first. I guess it could went either way, but to this way, we're just going to start here first. It reads, buy into Congress, pass bill to fund U.S. chip manufacturer. And this article came out March the 2nd, 2022, the year Yahweh Bashim Shai turned it up. And it reads, President Joe Biden called on Congress to pass the CHIPS Act, a law that would provide chip makers with $52 billion in subsidies to advance semiconductor manufacturing in the United States during his State of the Union speech Tuesday. Again, mind you, this article came out last month. It says, Biden lauded Intel Chief Executive Pat Gelsinger, who last month announced a $20 billion investment for 2 new chip fabrication facilities, or fabs, that the company will build just west of Columbus, Ohio. Intel plans to spend $100 billion to build the Ohio mega fab over the next decade, with an eventual total of 8 fabs. But the speed of that investment will depend on the U.S. subsidy, Gelsinger has said. It says Intel's CEO, Pat Gelsinger, who is here tonight, told me that they are ready to increase their investment from $20 billion to $100 billion. That will be one of the biggest investments in manufacturing in American history, which makes sense because we understand coming down the pipe with these CBDCs and these cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, all this and that. We understand that they want to go from, paper dollars to this fiat currency, which isn't backed by nothing, which pretty much is false, because ultimately currency is based upon weight, So ultimately what's going on is this is going to be one of those biggest investments, because we understand like the last 2 major prophecies to be as far as what the MOTB being implemented, and then World War III. So of course it makes sense for this thing to be implemented, because it's going to pretty much come out, it's going to branch out. Pretty much the main forward is going to be Babylon the Great, but we understand that other countries have already implemented this, amongst their people, main examples are over there in Sweden, where they have already accepted the, MOTB being implanted to them, to where they do their everyday, buying and selling and, so forth and so on. So it makes sense for this to be one of those historical moments where there has never been an investment of this amount, in history. It says, Biden said, and all they're waiting for is for you to pass the bill, send it to my desk, and I'll sign it. Now, mind you, remember in 2005, he told that Chief Justice Roberts, he told him in 2005 that pretty much there will come a point in time where you're going to rule over, the MOTB being implemented, microchips being put into people, so forth and so on. You will rule on that. And that's why he said, send it to my desk and I'll sign it. Happy, he's pleased to do so. To do those things, because this is what the beast is going to do. So this is what Esau was his plan. His NWO is to pretty much, that's going to put them in control of every single thing of the aspects of your life. Yeah, they have a great hand of what's going on right now, but when this thing gets put into you, it's every single thing, from what you do, where you move, where you go, where you sleep, all these things, right? And again, people also prep for that with the whole metaverse thing. If you look into that. So, little virtual reality type of things, but it's all going to come back to the MOTB. It says, the Senate passed the bill funding the CHIPS Act in 2021, and the House of Representatives followed suit in February. But the differences of the bill haven't been ironed out in committee, and the subsidy hasn't arrived despite some bipartisan support. The funding will help the U.S. compete with government help in Taiwan and South Korea, where leading chip makers Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, and Samsung have the bulk of their operations. The U.S. subsidies would knock about $3 billion off the $10 billion price tag for a new fab. A subsidy level Intel says matches those in Asia. Chip makers and politicians want to boost chip making in the U.S. to help restore the country's manufacturing prowess. The U.S. share of chip manufacturing slid from 37% in 1990 to 12% today, and processors are crucial not just to mobile phones, internet companies, and PCs. They also are essential to automobiles, washing machines, and just about anything with a battery or a power cord. Now, like I said, how this is how the devil works. See, we understand by prophecy that this thing is going to be implemented. So yeah, they speak about it was a shortage of this and a shortage of that, and they can speak about those things was being a shortage of. But we understand if it was an actual shortage, we understand that that would have been, pretty much the shortage would go into like a pretty much a revival state, if you will. Trying to find the right words for it, but yeah, they claim it's a shortage, but we know through prophecy that this thing is going to be put out into the whole entire earth. So it can't necessarily be a shortage because this is going to be the next big thing as far as prophecy. Just like what they're going on talking about now with the food shortage and all this and that. We understand that it's all by design and controlled by man, but through the will of Yahweh Bashim Abishai. So it says, Intel's chip recovery plan could restore U.S. manufacturing prowess. Intel's new car divisions aims to modernize driving. Intel shows off the chip tech that will power your PC in 2025. So, Lord willing, we not here that long, but you know how these devils think. With a global chip shortage, see right there, keeping everything from cars to Sony PlayStations out of consumers' hands and contributing to inflationary price increases, there are significant tailwinds to help persuade politicians to fund new chip work. Boosting U.S. chip manufacturing should make supply chains more resilient to protect against political and technical problems. Intel's new fabs in Ohio won't come online until 2025, though, and even massive subsidies won't mean the U.S. can match the Asian manufacturing clout. The Boston Consulting Group expects it will take $900 billion to $1.23 trillion in spending to create self-sufficient semiconductor supply chains worldwide. For just the U.S., it's about $350 to $420 billion. Intel spending, while mammoth, still trails that of Samsung and TSMC, which in recent years surpassed Intel in chip-making leadership. Intel's plan to reclaim its chip technology lead Slovakia by 2025 hinges on several major challenges, including rapidly advancing its manufacturing and launching a very different business, making chips for others, not just its own designs. Ohio, while far from Intel's main operations in Silicon Valley, Oregon, and Arizona, is notable, given that Ohio is a key electoral battleground. There's no surprise Biden opened up the White House for Intel's announcement and touted it again during Tuesday's high-profile speech. Ohio also is close to automakers whose products Intel hopes to help modernize. In February, Intel launches a new automotive division for its Intel Foundry service to manufacture other chips. Hold social media platforms accountable. In another part of his address, Biden called for stronger privacy protections on social media and a ban on advertising targeting to children. We must hold onto social media platforms accountable. We must hold social media platforms accountable for the national experiment they're conducting on our children to profit, he said in the prepared remarks. The president singled out Frances Haugen, a former product manager at Facebook, who leaked internal corporate documents that in part formed the basis of a Wall Street Journal series that found the company's ignored research about how its Instagram photo platform can harm teen girls. Thank you, Biden said to Haugen, who was in attendance. Thank you for the courage you showed. So, and let me see. So that's that portion. Let's see. See if we can. It shouldn't be too long. We can get through this. It's a So this came out April 11th, 2022, the year. Yeah, how about you? I turn it up. It says, and it came from endtimeheadlines.org. Growing number of people embracing the concept of, microchip implants for making payments by hand. And it says, Patrick Paulman causes a stir whenever he pays for something in a shop or restaurant. This is because the 37-year-old doesn't need to use a bank card or his mobile phone to pay. Instead, he simply places his left hand near the contactless card reader, and the payment goes through. The reactions I get from cashiers are priceless, says Mr. Paulman, a security guard from the Netherlands. He is able to pay using his hand because back in 2019, he had a contactless payment, MOTB. I'm just gonna say that just for y'all know what they be doing. They take down brothers' pages and stuff like that. But they say injected under his skin. The procedure hurts as much as when someone pinches his skin. It says MOTB was first implanted into a human back in 1998, but it was only during the past decade that the technology has been available commercially. And when it comes to implantable payment, MOTB's British Polish firm Walletmore, which I did lessons on in the past, says that last year it became the first company to offer them for sale. So you got to know that since they did that, you got to understand that these other companies, which it's full. I forgot what the other one's called. It's like I think it's called like Vivo Key. Another one's called like Skyon, something like that. These are other companies as well that does that. Especially with those other Korean and Taiwan companies and whatever the case may be. So you see how what's gonna happen is now these other companies gotta it's gonna be competition. So who can push out the most, push out more, and who can have more efficient ones, and then it's gonna be a competition of who can make the better MOTB, to present worldwide. It says the implant can be used to pay for a drink on the beach in Rio, coffee in New York, a haircut in Paris, or at your local grocery store, says founder and chief executive Wojtek Paproda Slovakia. It can be used wherever contactless payments are accepted. Walletmore's MOTP, which weighs less than a gram, is a little bigger than a grain of rice. It is comprised of a tiny MOTB and an antenna encased in a biopolymer, a naturally sourced material similar to plastic. Mr. Paproda adds that it is entirely safe, has regulatory approval, works immediately after being implanted, and will stay firmly in place. It also does not require a battery or other power source. The firm says it has now sold more than 500 MOTBs. So when you got people like this coming out and saying these things, just to condition the people to give you that sense of security, or that peace that it's okay, it's all right. This is the next big thing. This is what the world is transitioning to. This is improvement. What they want to do with this transhumanism, via that fourth industrial revolution. What Klaus Schwab was talking about. So they're gonna have people that tell you that it's okay, there's nothing wrong, completely harmless. Made life better, made things easier, and the people are gonna fall. They're gonna fall for that. It says the technology while more, because a lot of people just go along to get along as well. Man, the world's advancing, and I might as well go along to get along, because we'll get in the scriptures where it's gonna tell you, hey, you gonna need this or you can't do this and that. And I guarantee you, as we done said in the scriptures, we can extrapolate that a lot of people gonna side with it rather than be against. It says the technology while more uses is a near field communications, or NFC, right, which is the counterpart of the RFID over here. It says the contactless payment system in smartphones, other payment implants are based on radio frequency identification, RFID, which is a similar technology typically found in physical contactless debit and credit cards. For many of us, the idea of having such a MOTB implanted in our body is an appalling one. But a 2021 survey of more than 4,000 people across the UK and the European Union found that 51% would consider. You see? So pretty much it's a surplus of those who would take it versus those who wouldn't be willing to. And that's just right now. This is the state that, think about when it actually gets presented and pushed, and, what I'm saying? It could be, a greater number. It says, however, without giving a percentage figure, the report added that invasiveness and security issues remain a major concern for respondents. Mr. Palmer says he doesn't have any of these worries. See? They're going to use these people. Man, I ain't got nothing to worry about this, what you saying, this and that. Well, hey, I'm here's proof. I'm living proof. I got this. I can show you this and that. And I've been having it for X amount of years, and it works perfectly. That's going to get some of the people to jump ship and be like, okay, and get on board. It says MOTB implants contain the same kind of technology that people use on a daily basis, he says. From key fobs to locked doors, public transit cards like the London Oyster card, or bank cards with contactless payment function. The reading distance is limited by the small antenna coil inside the implant. The implant needs to be within the electromagnetic field of the compatible RFID or NFC reader. Only when there is a magnetic coupling between the reader and the transponder can the implant be read. So, and look at this madness. But so yeah, that's all that's on that. on that article. So as you can see, these things, and this is what prophecy is leading towards. It's what the Lord said. As far as wherever He sent His word, it shall prosper. You know what I'm saying? So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get that after. We're just gonna start with the topic at hand and go into the scripture. This is Revelation 13:16, right? It says, and He calls it, right? That's He who's in power is Esau, Edom. He calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So you can be, you small, you can be great, you can be famous, infamous, poor, middle class, low class, whatever the case may be. No matter if you're rich, you poor, free or bond. Whether you're locked up or you're out here so called free. That they say that you have, not being, pretty much confined to a prison, or a jail cell. It says to receive a MOTB, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And, like I said, for the sake of, algorithms, gotta learn to extrapolate. So, you know, um, right here goes into the word karagma, which it says is a scratch or etching. So it's a stamp, right, as a badge of servitude. This is if you accept this, you're accepting the badge of servitude to Esau Edom. Who heads the beast, pretty much. It says or sculpture figure, statue, or a graven mark. Another thing it says a stamp or in a printed mark. It's a of them, stamped on the forehead, the right hand. Say the Antichrist, but it's many Antichrists, not just one guy that you think gonna just pop up out of nowhere with devil horns and three-piece suit, cigarette, cigar, whatever, No, it's many Antichrists, those who oppose ultimately the truth. Anything of the truth you oppose, or you're Antichrist. You don't believe in Yahweh, you don't believe in Yahweh Shai, the truth, everything, you're Antichrist. It's the mark branded upon horses, right? Because that shows what? Your property. So when you coincide and you accept this, then you show that you are accepting the Esau Edom to be your master, right? And you're gonna receive, death and destruction from that. It says, verse 17. Now, this is where a lot of people gonna get tripped up. And that no man might buy or sell, save or unless he had the charagma or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So in society, you're not gonna be able to buy nothing. You're not gonna be able to sell nothing. You ain't gonna be able to go to these venues and go do that and go do this and that. I mean, like I said, we could just buy or sell, but just think about it. Hey, you gotta pay for tickets to go to these venues, to go to do this and that, and go to do this. Everything costs money to do, right? So if you don't have this, you're not gonna be able to do those things. And what you're gonna be is you're gonna be an outlaw to society, and you never know what will come with that. People can persecute you, pursue you, come after you, call you an enemy of the state, try to kill you. We don't know, but understand this: if you don't have this charagma, you're not gonna be able to buy or sell anything. You know. And it says, it just finished off here. It's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of the man, and his number is 600, 666, which goes into, not to go into too much of depth, but goes into the UPC barcodes. If understand those, that number system, the first two lines, the middle two lines, and the ending two lines is 666. So. And that's what's going to be put on the MOTBs, so you can be able to buy stuff, scan stuff. Just like when you're at a store, you buy stuff. When you scan it, you got to do what? Scan the UPC to where what? So you can pay for it. You see? Or what you do, you scan that to look things up. So that's how you're going to be, they're going to know exactly who you are if anything was to happen. If they scan that, oh, this is who this person is. You're not going to need an ID. You're not going to need a wallet. All the information is going to be stored on these things. Right? Now, real quick, because, this is something that ain't going to be just presented to certain people. It's going to be presented to the whole earth, right? This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? So those who kept this truth, right? Who didn't flake off or fall off or, turning back on the plow, so to speak. They stay faithful in this thing. They ultimately, endured until the end, Lord, when we do. I also would keep thee from the hour of temptation. So, you pretty much trusting you how much am I trying keeping this true, keeping this, the word of his patience, he going to keep you from the hour of temptation. Meaning, well, he going to put the spirit in you not to flake off and fall, not to accept this thing. He's going to put the spirit in you to reject it, right? Because if you don't reject it, Well, we'll get what's going to happen to you with that. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And we get this term world, and it's going to say oikomene. See, oikomene, which is the earth, the world, but the inhabitants of earth. You know what I'm saying? The whole earth, the whole world is going to be tried in regards to this thing. So, you know, it's a verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast without hast, that no man take thy crown. So meaning what? Hold the faith. Hold this truth. Hold the days Yahweh, while Yahweh shine your mind, and just, depend on them and make them your foundation, your pillar, your refuge and your rock. Ultimately, that's what they gonna, be for you. They know who's theirs and who's not. Ultimately the elect, they gonna keep them. The elect is gonna keep that which they have, hold fast to what they have, which is faith in Yahweh by Shemal Shai, that no man take thy crown. And another way so a man can take that crown before you just take that is they teach you that it's okay to get, or they teach you that the MOTB is something else other than what the scriptures say that it is. That's how another man can take your crown. Telling you that it's sleeping with a white woman, that it's a trade embargo, that it's a sin, so you already got it, so you might as well take it, or telling you that, hey man, you want to eat, so you better take it. A lot of these other men, these false prophets who call themselves men of the Lord, leading people astray. But we understand that the time gonna come where, hey, you gonna have to address the elephant in the room, and hey, this is it. It actually went commercial a few months back where they actually put it in mainstream, media that with these MOTBs. So it's not like it's something that's a secret. It's not a conspiracy. It's none of those things. It's prophecy. That's what it is, and we understand that all these things will come to pass. Now, as I said, like I said, behold, I come quickly. So we know your house is coming quickly. It may seem like it's not, but trust me, it is. He is. And like I say, you got to hold fast, man. Hold on to the faith that you have, if the Lord put the Spirit in you, because if not, this is going to befall you. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed, saying with a loud voice, and say, if any man, right, worship the beast in his image, anybody, receive his karama in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. So let's say if you get this, you gon' drink of the wrath of the wrath. It ain't, oh, let me get it, let me take it out. No, let's say if you get this. Ain't no change in my mind and this and that. No. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shebel Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, right? His righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. So you can be, if you make it to that time, when Yahweh Shai pull up with the angels, you will be tormented with concentrated fire from the laser beams, or just tortured with that tormented with the nukes from the warheads, the fire from that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, what they say, doom for the worshippers of the beast. You worship the beast, you fall in line, and you coincide the beast. Death and destruction is coming to you. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. But like we just read, it's gonna come to the whole entire earth for that to be tried, to everybody to be tried. So, hey, if you're not a elected Yahweh by Shemal Shai, hey, even if you refuse and don't take it, right? Because we're not gonna say every single body gonna take it, because we understand even in Revelation 20 it speaks about those being beheaded. As a matter of fact, said they want to make it too long, but right here. Revelation 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh Bashem Shai, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his charagma upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. So we understand, yes, not everybody's going to take it. Especially, we know the elect not going to take it, but also even those who are allotted for destruction. Some 2/3 may not take it. We know some heathens not going to take it, because the main heathens that are speaking out against it, is the Edomites. They in the uproar of all these things that's infringing their rights, and that's not right. We not this, the American way, the Constitution. We know, some of them not going to take it. Just like, those survivalist people who tell you to do this and go prep and doomsday and do this and that. We understand that some of them perhaps may not take it. But just because they don't take it don't mean they won't be destroyed. Because, if you're not the elect of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds, then you're gonna be destroyed. It don't matter if you, I didn't take it, I didn't do this and that, and I started to speak on behalf of the so-called Negroes, this and that, acting, act like you're doing a good thing. No, don't matter. If you're not the elect, you know, you're not being saved. So, like I said, you could be a heathen, or 2/3, and don't take the MOTB, but you still over here Babylon the Great. Your ass still gonna be destroyed. And then you can leave Babylon the Great, and you still destruction, death and destruction can still come to you if that's allotted for allotted for the day of destruction, the day of the Lord. If hey, this supposed to happen to this person, I don't give a damn. He went to Bangkok, your ass still gonna die. It don't matter. So we understand that the elect is definitely, the ones who matter who don't take it are going to be the elect, you know. But like the scriptures say that, behold, he come fast, right? So we understand, right? We're going to get them beside the top. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I reprove. So, right, and that's what the prophets, the men of the Lord, are doing. They have been set up to be watchmen unto the house of Israel. So, y'all tell us what to do. Y'all saying this, y'all saying that. Instead of you understanding and receiving this as this love, because we warn you of the things that happen, hey, y'all like to come against us. Y'all want to, condemn us, demonize us. Hey, same thing that y'all did to Yahushua. He didn't come here. He came. He didn't do nothing wrong to these people. He only told the truth. He did the will of Yahushua, and he gave pretty much. What he did when he crucified, he brought us back to Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? But and even in doing that, bring you way back to your power. The people still rejected him, but still wanted to be killed. You get what I'm saying? Like, we understand that's gonna happen to us as well. The servant's not greater than his master. So you don't understand that we telling you these things is gonna happen. That's showing love. If I knew this house, if I knew there was a bomb in this building, and I'm seeing people going in there, and like I said, I know it's a bomb in there, but people still want to go in there, and I tell you not, I don't say nothing to you. Well, you gonna die, but your blood gonna be on my hands because I didn't warn you. But you, as a person who went to that building, and if you'd have known, oh damn, well you knew and you didn't tell me anything, you would be upset that I didn't tell you. That's the same lie as we coming as the prophets. We telling these things, it's showing you love to warn you of what's gonna happen, so that you should get right with your power with your how about your shy, so he preserve you from the said perils that's gonna come to the earth. Right. So that's how we are set up on that watchtower. We looking out for the people. It say, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run their read of it. That's why when we break these scriptures down, we break it to the least common denominator, break it down so that a 5-year-old can understand it. We ain't supposed to be, but even doing that, hey, say the Lord, he got to put the spirit in you to receive it anyway. It can still be a mystery, it can still be a parable, even though we break it down to the simplest form. If the Lord don't want you to get it, you're not going to get it. We going to get there too, Lord willing. And say what? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So the vision of the MOTB being implemented is coming to, that's going to be implemented to the whole entire earth. Man, the time is coming, and it's drawing nigh. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. The people do, y'all been saying this for this many years, the next many years, and they happen yet. Hey, listen. At the end, you're going to see, it's going to speak and it's not going to lie. It's going to be apparent. Though it tarry, right? Though it seem to linger on and delay and, oh, yeah, whatever. It's like, what? Wait for it. Because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Just they say, behold, I come quickly. We know how is coming quickly. You get what I'm saying? But, that's the whole gist of it, man. The vision, this time period, this day is going to come when it's being implemented. And we're going to see, hey, who was, ultimately the elect, man, they going to listen, they going to take heed, and they going to do all those things, that the Lord commands them to do so that they receive that hedge of protection. But as for the rest of the people who forsook the prophets, forsook Yahweh Shai, man, you in for a rude awakening, death and destruction. It's going to come to you, right? And like I said, man, it's just, some people just not going to know. They just not going to get it because why? Ooh, let me get this in the red letter. Because the Lord don't want them to, right? And they say, what? The Lord wouldn't do that. Well, listen to this. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou to them in parables, right? Hopefully they got the right definition of what a parable is. A parabole. It's a comparison, figure, parable, proverb, placing of one thing by the side of another, juxtaposition as a ship's. It's a And a comparable, or metaphorically, a comparison of one thing with another likeness, a similitude, an example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated. Pretty much. Well, here, okay, I like this one. A parable, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. You know, so pretty much a deep, dark saying. Something that's not easy for you to get to understand. It says, he answered and said to them, right, saying to his disciples, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. And I'm just gonna leave it at right there. So the people who are not gonna give it is because the Lord don't want you to get it, right? Ultimately, hey, whatever you have did, in your past life, or like I said, whatever it was, however it was put together in the beginning, because like I said, he declared the end before the beginning. Hey, you was already, like I said, there's a predestination of the elect to be saved, and there's also a predestination for those to be destroyed. So whatever it is that one have done to where the Lord, hey, sanction for you to be destroyed, and that's on you. Lord willing, that'll happen to me, and likewise it'll happen to those who subscribe to the truth, starting with our apostles and elders on down, rest of the like-minded men who believe sincerely, and then those who are listening, Aquaf as well, But we understand that, like I said, man, it's up to you to understand these mysteries. To them, it's not given. So the ones who can't see it, who, I don't think that's right, and no, brother, that ain't this, that ain't that, it's because the Lord don't want them to get it. He blinded them, right? And what's going to happen to them? Man, they going to receive destruction. It's for whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he had. So for whosoever have that understanding, right? Hey, what's the understanding? More wisdom and knowledge gonna be given unto that individual. He gonna have it more abundantly, right? Because we understand Scripture say wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times. But whosoever have not, so the ones who don't have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he has. So even that he don't even have the understanding from what he do understand and what he do have, take that away from him as well. I mean, he gonna be in complete darkness, completely bugged out. And it says, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Their spiritual eyes are closed, their spiritual ears are clogged up. So they not gonna understand. They can't see it, nor can they, hear it, so they not gonna be able to understand it. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's ears wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they shall see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and shall understand with their hearts, and shall be converted, and I shall heal them. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. So, as it's saying, I believe that's going back to Isaiah chapter 6, like it's pretty much saying, man, you blessed to see these things. The Lord said, you blessed, right? We got to work out our own salvation in fear and trembling, right? Because we desire, the prophets desire to see, those things which you see, right? A lot of them desire to see what? These prophecies come to pass, but also desire to see Yahweh. There's a lot of things they desire to see. But in these time periods right now, Yahweh already came, so that was one thing that was already, fulfilled when they see him. But then now we just waiting for the rest of these prophecies to be seen, because they wasn't seen back then, So, and like I said, man, it's up to the Lord to fill your ears. It say what? Let's say anytime that they should see with their ears and hear with their ear, or see with their eyes and hear with their ears. That's up to the Lord to put the Spirit on you to be able to do those things, right? So if we don't put that upon you to receive this and to understand it, the destruction, then you are allotted for destruction, And that's pretty much all. I just want to end with that. Well, matter of fact, I'll just go back and end with this real quick. Just a vision. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So we understand that the vision is going to come to pass. All the prophecies have came to pass. Where Yahweh, when he sanctioned, Yahweh Shemashai sanctioned, they all have came to pass. And they not going to put a stopping to them. So we understand if he say that this going to happen, the MOTB going to be implemented, hey, that's what we waiting on. We being patient. We, all Lord willing, he keep the Spirit on us to hold fast to that which we have. And, ultimately remove our candlestick, take the understanding away from us, which will pretty much leave us out there for death and destruction. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, to the sincere Akiwa while they're listening. And the MOTB as part of prophecy is going to come to pass. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do, to stay in this faith, so that when the time come, the Lord put the Spirit on us to stay true unto Him, unto them. So again, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who root well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that puts us great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abai, Babal.